Hello, good afternoon. I'm Aaron Heber and I'm here to talk to you about my story, Run Faster. But before I do so, just a few statistics and facts to get you guys thinking. David Petraeus sex scandal. Does anyone know what this is? Does anyone know David Petraeus? Yeah, he knows it. Well, he's a general and he was the head of the CIA, I believe, and he was forced to step down as the director of the CIA because he was caught having an affair. But the reason he was caught is because the FBI caught him, and they were basically just snooping around, figuring out that he was having sex with another woman that wasn't his wife. NSA has been listening since 2001. They have been listening to your phone calls, emails, and texts. They've been reading those regularly since 2001. And the NSA also has a database that's similar to Google, where they can just type in something that has to do with like a phone call or something like that, like a keyword, and they can search it and find it. And that's like phone calls that the public has. And finally, the FYS Amendment Act. This Act of 2008 basically gave federal agencies like the CIA or the FBI, it gives them probable cause if they deem it necessary to go in, listen to your phone calls, read your emails, just to find out if they deem it necessary, if they're investigating like a terrorist threat or something like that. Uncle Sam is watching you. Alright, Run Faster by me. The exposition, it's going to start off a flash forward, kind of. You know, you see the picture from Limitless. You know, has anyone ever seen the movie Limitless? Yeah. And it kind of starts off where he's in his apartment, it's getting broken in. Mm-hmm. Well, this story is going to start off exactly like that. But it's not some Russian thug that's trying to break in. It's going to be the Secret Service. They're trying to break in and kill or capture a man named Jackson Mahone and his brother Howard Mahone. And Jackson is a structural engineer that works for a big company in New York called ARUP. And he basically discovers a plot to assassinate the president. And that's why the Secret Service is after him. So he has to escape from his apartment. And when he escapes, that's when it flashes back to his regular life. Okay, the rising action of this story, it goes back to Jackson's everyday life. You see him, he's a structural engineer, and he's working at a big company called ARUP in New York, and their latest task is to design a building where, in the case of a terrorist attack in New York, it'd be a safe place for the president to go to. So he goes into work this one day, and he has a meeting with the Secret Service agent to set up all the plans and everything. And everything's going well. He's pitching the Secret Service agent his idea. And then at the end, the Secret Service agent starts asking questions, and he's basically telling Jackson what he wants to be done with this building. And he can do this because in this day and age, the government has passed so many bills and acts that they can basically tell Jackson's firm to do whatever they want with this building. So that's kind of the aspect of complete government control. They can manipulate whatever they want. So he's telling him to build this building in a different type of construction style, and I named this style the Schofield method. I just kind of came up with a construction style in my story, and it's a different type of method. It uses like cables and braces to hold up a building instead of the regular like beams going across a building and everything like that. So it's completely experimental, and it's only been done like once before, I think I said in the story. And so Jackson was kind of hesitant at this when he first heard this, because he wasn't sure if they should devote such an important building to this new type of style. So it goes forward in the story, and late at night Jackson's working, and he hears someone come into his floor, and it's his boss, Larry Winters, and the Secret Service agent Bowers. and they're having a private meeting, and Jackson kind of overhears what they're saying, and they're basically talking about their plot to assassinate the president. And I said their plot to assassinate the president was to construct this building, make it kind of iffy structurally, and then have a terrorist attack, like a fake terrorist attack, to cover up their actual schemes. And so the president's going to go inside the building, and then the terrorists are going to attack the building and make it collapse on them. And so that's their plot. And so later in the story, Jackson travels to Washington, D.C., and he gets a meeting with the president because he has to discuss with the president his secret chamber in the building. So he kind of uses that as cover, but his real intentions are to tell the president what's actually going to happen, what he overheard. And so the president doesn't listen to him. So in the climax of the story, Jackson is leaving Washington, D.C., and obviously the Secret Service is going to try and take him out. They heard everything he told the president and what he was trying to convey and ruin their plan. So they move on him as he's trying to leave D.C., but he nearly escapes. He gets on a plane and he takes off and goes back to New York. Alright, the following action. Jackson goes back to New York and he confides in his brother Howard. They go back to Jackson's apartment and he tells Howard everything that's just happened. He told the president didn't believe him, and the Secret Service already tried to kill him. So Howard hears this, and they both develop a plan to escape to Panama. And that flag is not just something random, it's the Panama national flag. So they decide they need to get money and just get the heck out of Dodge. They need to get out of the country. And then the denouement, the Secret Service, they come and attack Jackson's apartment, and this basically brings us back where we were at the beginning of the story. They're trying to break into Jackson's apartment, and to get out of Jackson's apartment, they need to climb out of the building. And mind you, they're on the 37th story of a big, tall apartment building in New York, and they need to scale the building and get to the fire escape. But before they get there, they have to make about I think it's about an 8-foot jump. So Jackson makes this no problem, but then when Howard's coming, the Secret Service finally busts out, and they're shooting at them. But Jackson, he found a way to kind of pause the shooting enough for Howard and him to escape. And then, so they escape to Panama, and they're living there with kind of one eye over their shoulder, looking for the government for the rest of their lives. And the presidential assassination goes through without a hitch. And I understand that this is kind of like a grim ending. Okay, but I wanted it to be like this because I wanted the theme of the overall story to kind of be like there is no